Welcome to episode 4 of the M1 Yarn in the making community. Yarn.
Is this like the blooper reels already?
Yeah.
M1 Yarns and the Michigan Makers podcast.
Episode 4. I am Danielle.
And I am Jamie.
And we are the M1 Yarn makers.
That's right.
Yeah.
We should, right off the top, we should say our Instagram handles.
So my Instagram handle is my name. Remember, I changed it to my name because I got tired of saying what it was. So it is Danielle Crafts 08 at Instagram.
And I am M1 Yarns. So, have you been? It's
Good.
been like a month?
Yeah. It's been a month. Shorter than the last gap of time we've had.
That's right.
Considering, so
we're trying to keep things rolling.
Wow, you got so far on that.
You know, I was grooving.
Okay.
I don't know if you can see. I know I'm wearing a dark sweater, and this is, well, I'm wearing a dark brown, and this is a black-ish. It's kind of a charcoal-y. But yeah.
That is pretty.
So we're doing the make-along.
Yes, we're doing a make-along, and we're making the classic cozy raglan.
No, cozy classic raglan.
What'd I say?
Classic cozy.
Oh, okay. It's classic and it's cozy. The cozy classic raglan. I wonder if I wrote that on my Instagram. I need to go back and check my hashtag now.
So
if I got the words wrong.
We should probably follow both hashtags for Jessie Mae's pattern of cozy classic raglan and classic cozy, because I bet people screw it up as much as we do.
Yeah. So I am here. I am at the ribbing. I posted a picture yesterday. I was a little bit past ribbing, or I just finished the ribbing, but I got to the German short rows, which I love. I know how to do German short rows.
Don't be afraid.
But I wasn't paying attention to the German short rows and the increases at the same time. I've never done both at the same time, where I had to do the short rows and the increases. Is usually you do the ribbing, you do a row or two, you do the German short rows, and then you start your increases.
Wait, now you got me nervous that I did mine wrong.
Well, I don't know what you did. I mean, it looks right. But for me, I just wasn't paying enough attention last night. And so then I tried to frog it and then put my needles back in. And that almost worked. I had to find a crochet hook to kind of fix things. I just said, forget it.
Sometimes it's just faster to...
the whole thing. And so I could have gotten to 2 inches today, but work got in the way.
What size needle are you using?
This is a, I don't say the US numbers. This is 3.25.
Oh, because you're on the ribbing.
For the ribbing, yeah. Oh my God, you almost scared me. Don't scare me like that.
Well, you almost scared me, but I was thinking, it looks... It looks and feels good. So.
It does. Yours look really good. I don't think he messed up. Yours look thicker than mine though.
Because I'm holding mohair with mine.
Oh, okay.
So I'm using the 80-20 fingering held with mohair, and then you're using my DK base. Yep.
Yeah.
So, I'm. Let's see, I think my mohair is in the colorway Night, and my fingering is in charcoal, and you're doing the Desert Party colorway.
Yes. NDK. So I am excited to get back to the whole German short row part of this, and I am going to pay attention to how many double stitches I should have. That's what happened. I got to a double stitch that I felt like shouldn't have been a double stitch, and then I knit all the way around back to the beginning of the row, and then I saw a double stitch or something that looked like a double stitch. So I'm like, this is just messed up, and I'm not going to be able to live with it. So I started over.
That's all right. I think some of my best projects that I've had to restart have and they've become my best projects.
Yeah, they're better the second time around. And then when you think about the time, because a lot of times we don't want to frog because we feel like we've gotten so far, but you get back to that point where you frogged so fast that you forget that you even had to frog. Because when I was doing my Sadatna, I don't know if you remember, because this was like year before last, I was doing my Sadatna, and I got pretty far, like within the color work, but I didn't like the way it fit. And I frogged it.
Were you tight on the color work?
It was really tight. I needed to go a size up in the sweater, not necessarily the needles, but a size up in the sweater. And I frogged it, and I was okay with it. And I got back to that part where I was so fast, and then I was able to like move on and rock and roll.
Cool.
Yep. So this is actually my last whip I had last time. I recently moved, so
life has been a little hectic.
Yes, and a lot of things are packed up, and I just haven't really been in a knitting mood.
Yeah,
I've been unpacking and cleaning and doing all of those things. So.
But you've got more space for your crafts.
Yes, I have
That's
like
exciting.
A little craft room, a little place to have my yarn and my paper crafts.
Nice.
And all of the things that I hoard.
Because you also do a lot of card making.
Yes. And I plan on making some cards soon. But I have so many things that I've acquired over the years that I haven't used. So I'm looking forward to using some of those things.
Nice.
Yep.
That's exciting.
It is. It's exciting and stressful at the same time.
Moving is so stressful.
Yes.
I remember when I bought this house, I was like, I'm going to be here for a very long time, come hell or high water, because I moved around a lot as a kid, though. So I think having roots, and now more than ever, obviously, home is everything. Home is now our office, our gym, our daycare, or whatever.
School,
the whole nine. And I think over the last couple months, I've started to say, man, if I could just have maybe like 600 more square feet, I'd be great.
But then it's more to clean.
I know.
And more to organize. I moved around a lot as a kid within the city. And my mom made it seem so seamless every single time. I don't remember like living out of boxes. I don't remember like navigating boxes within a house. My mom, and maybe because she would like send me away for the weekend, she would do all the packing, and then like my dad would come and get me, and we're at our new house and it's all set up.
You missed the drama.
yeah, I missed the whole drama. So I guess I just don't know what went into that.
Yeah.
And I used to move a lot when I lived in New York because it was just always something. I mean, you just can't live in New York and not move every year. Like, who are you to stay in an apartment for 5 years? But
rent control,
which they don't have anymore. They do, and if you live in a rent controlled apartment, but if you don't now, you can forget about it. But I like to move and unpack within 2 days and have everything set up. However,
at least you're like kitchen and bathroom.
For me, everything, because I am a firm believer that the longer you stay packed, the longer you stay packed. Like, things will never come out of boxes. And so I would just like unpack everything, get everything ready before I do anything else. Like, I needed to feel like home. It's different when you're moving with a family of 4.
Yeah.
And it is so much. And then I told you we were doing some renovations in our kitchen. And so there were parts of the kitchen that we haven't unpacked. So it can be really difficult when it's not just you. But when it's just me, like when I moved to Chicago from here, my apartment was like together. Yeah.
But now you're starting to settle in.
Yeah.
So hopefully you can create space where like you feel you can once again, connect with your crafts and have like you time and that creative outlet.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to that. I set my my Swift and my winder up in the basement, and so I don't have to take it down and put it away like I used to because of all of the stuff that we had in our other space. And I really enjoy going into the basement and actually winding yarn. That is not my favorite thing to do, but I actually enjoyed it.
Nice. So does that mean I don't have to wind your yarn anymore?
No, it doesn't mean that.
Ooh.
No, if I buy yarn from you, I want it to come in a ball or a cake, whatever you call it. A ball if you mess it up.
I do offer that service.
If you mess it up, it ends up in a ball.
Yeah, you know that if you receive a ball, something has gone
Yes.
like a little bit sideways. But you know what? It's all good. It'll become a sweater or a hat or whatever.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah, as long as it works. I actually have a ball of yarn. Remember, I texted you when I was when I was winding this yarn, and I was like, I'm cursed. I'm not gonna wind anymore tonight.
This bag is super cute.
Oh yeah, this is one of my quarantine purchases, and I got this from Fiverr Space, and it says prepared.
And it's got toilet paper.
Toilet paper, wine. Is wine on there?
Yep.
A sheep. The sheep is
knitting.
And some yarn. And so I got this bag maybe 2-3 weeks into quarantine, and I'm like, this is so cute, and I love it because I can put a bag in a bag.
Yeah.
It holds a lot. This strap actually extends, and you can wear it crossbody. So this was something that I was planning on taking to Rhinebeck if that happened, but it's not happening.
It's not
in
happening.
person. So
do they still sell these?
probably not, but you can go to Fiverr Space and send them a message to see.
Okay.
Because when I got it, it was actually, when I first looked for it, it was sold out.
Oh.
But then I sent a message, and she said that she was going to add some more to the shop, and she did, and I, like, swooped it up really quickly.
You know, the only thing missing on the front of the bag is your sheep isn't wearing a mask.
Oh, yeah.
So he's not totally
prepared.
What?
I think the bag was made when they were saying wearing a mask didn't make a difference.
Right.
So they didn't know. But I'm sure a new version of this bag, the sheep probably would be wearing a mask.
You could, like, do a little embroidery mask on the bag.
No, we just gonna keep it like that. I ain't got time. So,
but wear your mask. That is awesome.
Cake, ball. So you know something happened here.
That is, okay, so there's a lot to learn when you first start knitting or crocheting. And I say all the time that I learned pre-YouTube, and had I learned during, like now, my learning curve, I would have learned faster. I was stuck on, like, square one. And I would read books because that was my main source of, like, knitting information. And I was so confused when they would talk about skeins and balls and cakes and hanks. And, I mean, I think, like, it's good to familiarize yourself with like, all the terminology.
Yeah.
Just like reading a pattern. I know people who just cannot read a pattern. And I think that's really important.
Oh my God, reading patterns is so fun to me because it's like you're decoding something.
Oh, for sure. Now
you're reading something that someone else don't understand.
Oh, I didn't even bring my pattern in here, but I am like, this is my other whip. We'll get to that in a minute.
What happened to it?
I dropped my stitches because I don't have point protectors on it.
I literally have a brand new thing of point protectors in my purse.
I literally bought like a pack of every size, maybe like 2 years ago. And legit, I have maybe a dozen of the purple big ones left and nothing else.
Yeah, I think I have one set of the purple big ones because I don't usually knit stuff that big. But yeah. I get a pack every time I go to Michael's or Joann's because you can use a 40%.
Okay, well, next time, buy me some.
I got a brand new one right there in my purse.
Oh, okay.
Do you want it?
No, that's good. But thank you. I reached in my bag to get my pattern because I have tried to, like, only use the digital pattern on my, like, I'll save it to iBooks. Is that what it's called? Mm-hmm. You can tell I don't use iBooks that much. But
I save all of my patterns.
I do try and do that. So, like, especially when I used to travel a lot, I would have my pattern, like, on my phone. Especially, like, if there was no internet access, I'd have it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I do prefer to print the pattern, I think because I'm, like, over the age of 35. But I like to circle, like, my size. You know how there's numbers? Remember the other day I texted you about this? Like, I'll go through the pattern and I'll circle, like, if I'm knitting size 2, I'll circle all the size 2 numbers in the parentheses so I know when I get to a part like what I'm actually doing. Or if I'm not doing a section because it only applies to like other sizes, I'll cross through that section. So I know when I get to it, I just skip right over it.
I never do that. If I don't mess up in the cast on, I'm fine.
But do you read the whole pattern through before you start? Because I think that is so
overwhelms
important.
me, actually.
It does.
Because then I start thinking like, oh, I don't know how to do this, or I'm going to get stuck at this. And so it actually overwhelms me if I read the whole thing through. So I'll read through like the yoke, and that's it.
Okay.
Because if I get through that, then I know I can get through the body, but I don't read all the way through. Sometimes I do, but most times I don't. Because then I'll get nervous if I see something that I don't understand, like left leaning increase or left leaning increase purl. I've never done an increase on a purl side.
Oh.
And so that made me really nervous.
Okay.
When I saw it in this pattern.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was looking at you because this looks so good on you.
Thank you.
It made me think we should talk about what we're wearing.
Okay.
So please go first.
I'll put my. This was that messed up one.
Oh yeah.
This is when I said I'm cursed.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do anymore because I wound like.
But what are you making with that? Remind me.
With
this?
this,
You're making I always get it confused.
Felix pullover.
Felix pullover.
Yeah, Felix pullover.
And that is super cute. I'll insert a photo of it right here.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to make it before Rhinebeck. If not, I'll make it after.
So had we been going to Rhinebeck like we planned in about a month, we definitely would have had like a Friday sweater and a Saturday sweater, and probably a Sunday sweater.
Yeah,
like maybe even like an old sweater for Sunday.
And it could have been this. It could have been my other cardigan I made. But definitely would have had 3 sweaters, and I would have been prepared because I would have had this cozy classic, and I would have had my weekender. So my weekender is still on the needles. I'm actually at the 15 inches that I'm supposed to get to before I start splitting for sleeves. I think I'm gonna remeasure it, but even if it's not 15, it seems like it's gonna be long enough, so I'll be fine.
And you've been knitting that for like
a long time.
Yeah,
you don't have to throw me any shade talking about I've been knitting that. I have. I cursed myself because know what? That I said there's no reason I shouldn't be done with this thing, and there's been plenty of reasons.
But you know what?
I'm not done with that.
You cast it on like March or April-ish, right? Okay, January 1st, I cast on a sweater for my husband for Valentine's Day, which didn't get done. And then I thought, I'll give it to him in May for his birthday, which didn't get done. Do you think I have touched that thing at all since February?
Yeah, because that thing is kind of daunting. You have to
knit
so many
cables.
pieces. It's all cables. Then you're going to have to seam it together.
And he's like a 2XL chest. Men's sweaters, I mean...
You know, that's why...
But it is bulky.
That's why I haven't knit Reggie a sweater.
Well, the sweater curse. Need I say more?
Well, I don't know about the curse. I'm cursed enough with yarn, with whips and with winding it. But so socks are good. So with his feet, I've measured them. I wrote it down. I don't have to measure them again, and the socks fit perfectly. Reggie likes his clothes to fit. Like,
hi Reggie.
And not necessarily like tight fitting, but he likes his clothes to be like tailored fit. So he'll buy something off the rack and he'll take it to a tailor. Like, it's very rare that I've seen him like buy something off the rack and like wear it right then. It could be a shirt, it can be a pair of pants. If he doesn't necessarily like how it fits, but he likes the item, he'll take it to a tailor. I'm not a tailor, okay? And
you're crafty.
Right, but I'm not a tailor. And so I feel like if I make him a sweater, I would need to have him try it on at every inch. And I would have to do all of these things to make it fit the way that he wants it to fit. So this doesn't necessarily make him like not knit worthy, but this makes him a knit challenge.
Okay.
And I don't know if I have that in me.
Yeah.
Right now.
Well,
because
I will say, Donovan and I got married last year. And I refused to knit before we got married. I mean, for him.
Yeah, I remember you told me.
So, I mean, maybe I should. It's not really like yarn is not a traditional first anniversary gift.
Girl, you better hurry up.
I know. I gotta knit my stuff first.
You better hurry up if it is.
He's understanding. He's a cool guy.
Yeah.
Anyway, where were we?
So what are we wearing?
Go ahead.
I'm wearing
we kind of coordinate like earthy.
Yeah.
I don't know. We did it again. We nailed it.
And it's chilly. It's really chilly out. I was gonna wear something else, but then when I realized how chilly it was, I was like, "It'll be perfect for me to wear this." So this is called, I believe it's the First Watch Peacoat by Marie Green of Olive Knits. And this is actually the very first sweater that I've casted on. Not that I finished, but I cast it on. It took me a while to finish it. It was on my needles for a very long time.
Of knit and crochet?
I've never made myself a crochet sweater. I've only made a crochet sweater for a baby, for Ryan, actually. So
really, this is your first hand-stitched sweater?
Yep.
Since you do both.
And it was so funny because...
and your nails match, like, everything you got going on.
Thank you. These were supposed to match something else, but it ended up being chili sauce. I forget it.
They look lovely.
But it matches my yarn. So, here's the funny thing. I casted this on. This was my very first project. And I went to the shop that I used to go to like, sit and knit. And the owner was like, that's going to be hard. And I'm like, I think I can do it. Yeah. She was like, that's... But you picked like a not easy pattern. And I'm like, but I know how to read patterns because I knew how to read crochet patterns. And that helps you read knit patterns if you just know how to like read and decode and understand keys and stuff like that. So, I did get a little nervous when I was making this, and that's why I sat on my needles for so long. But then when I understood more about knitting and constructing garments, I came back to this and I finished it right away.
If you can hear my dog, he is outside this room crying.
Sound like a man laughing.
And this is where I'm going to have to edit out me yelling at him. Yeah, he's a big crybaby.
So, what are you wearing?
So I am wearing the pink velvet, which is a kit I have on my website. It's designed by Andrea Mowry. And the body is llama... Wait, no, sorry. The body is merino, yak, and silk. And then there's color work, which is probably not coming up on camera. Let's see. There you go. That is knit with... I'm just trying to get the camera to focus. Surrey, alpaca, and silk. And so... the sweater was originally gray in the body and like burgundy in the color work. Wow. I had a little snafu and I got a big stain on the gray section and I couldn't get it out. And so I decided, well, since I dye yarn, I'll just try to dye the sweater because, I mean, a sweater is nothing more than yarn. So I stuck the whole thing in a pan of like a teddy bear brown type of dye. And I think it came out pretty well. I mean, I really don't think you're seeing on camera like the tones, but I'm quite pleased that I saved a stained sweater from, you know, going out to pasture. That dog.
That is super cute. I actually have that pattern, but I plan on using stash yarn, so I'm not going to buy any yarn for it. So I'm not using mohair. I'm going to use just a fingering.
Okay, cool.
So hopefully it turns out cute.
Yeah, I mean, this was a really fun pattern to knit. It's top down. It's kind of boat neck shaped. Mine, I think, came out really loose. I'm a loose knitter, though, so that just happened. And, so yeah.
Okay.
Oh, and I should say, check out my new bracelet.
I forgot to wear any bracelets, but they were all packed up.
I know. I literally wear the same jewelry every day, but this is from my friend Yesenia. Ooh.
So
Let's
cute.
see if it'll focus. Yeah. She has a Etsy shop with lots of super cool accessories. So, that was kind of fun to put on some jewelry today.
Yeah, this is my second time during quarantine. I mean, I don't even know. Are we still quarantined? I don't understand what's happening.
I don't know.
Okay.
I heard, what was I watching the other day? Some podcast or something. But they were talking about COVID as if COVID was almost like past tense.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I mean, honestly, at least here in the States.
Yeah.
And Michigan is not as bad as some other states. But, like, I feel like it's everyone's responsibility to act as if it's awful, because that's the only way we're going to get rid of this.
Right.
Other than, like, mass successful vaccination. But it's not over. I mean, even if things are reopening, you know, wear your mask, wash your hands.
So this is the second time I've done makeup since we've been in quarantine. So I just haven't gone anywhere. And so today I wore a mask with my lipstick, and I sat there the whole time thinking, is my lipstick getting messed up under this mask?
Oh, yeah.
And I, like, didn't want to talk. I didn't want to move. I didn't want to do anything because I imagined that I would take my mask off and I would look like the Joker.
NARS Velvet Matte Lip Pencil.
That's what I'm wearing.
Because we've talked about this.
Yeah.
This is the only product I use now. Well, unless I basically, like, put on some lip gloss just for some moisture, like, around the house.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if I get up in the morning, I put on a little mascara to feel human.
I think I'm going to start doing that.
That's just my thing. My eyelashes are, like, blonde.
Oh, yeah. So
and my eyebrows are, too. So, like, if I don't put on something...
Yeah, I want to be able to see them.
Yeah.
And I don't have lashes. I have, like, little baby lashes.
Mm-hmm.
My 4-year-old has more lashes than me. Seriously. I don't have long lashes.
Yeah.
But she gets that from her dad. She gets that from Reggie. He has long lashes, too. So.
Yeah. So, but yeah, this lip pencil stays on pretty well. Like, if I wear a light colored mask, like if we're going to dinner or something and I take it off, I'll notice, like, a little bit on my mask. But it was
a little
right.
one. It was a little one there, and I had to retouch, and I was just like, I don't want to look like the Joker when I take this mask off.
Yeah, that would not be good.
Yeah.
Anyway, oh, I should talk about my other whip.
Yeah, I wanted to see that. Now, what is this mohair thing you're making?
So this is, I've got multiple strands of mohair. Jesus. There's not much of it, but so I recently cast this on. So I haven't made progress on it because I'm working on our make along. But this mohair is going to become the Bright Feather sweater by Jennifer Steingass, who is on Instagram, Knit Love Wool or knit.love.wool or something like that. Mm-hmm. I'll insert it here. So I'll insert a photo, and this pattern is like a top-down yoke sweater with a feather motif.
Is all mohair?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
So you hold the mohair doubled.
Okay.
So it's going to be the blue, and then this kind of ivory is going to become the color work that is the feathers going down.
Hmm.
So that's going to be my second Rhinebeck sweater.
Okay.
So Christy Glass is doing that Tell Me About Your Rhinebeck Sweater video.
That I missed last year.
I know, because we were literally at our Airbnb weaving in ends.
Is that why we missed it, or we missed it because we were on the other side? We were on Christy Glass's Tell Me About Your Rhinebeck Sweater video. Is it a video submission?
Yep.
Is due by October 10th. Did I get that date right in my post? Is it the 10th?
It is the 10th.
Okay. Well,
and head over to her Instagram for all the details.
Yes.
And how she wants you to submit it and whatnot. And record it this way, not this way.
See? Like that. I have to remember how to record it because my video will not be in there because I'll be holding it like that.
Yep.
So hold it sideways. Speak loud enough. And have fun. Don't be nervous.
Yeah, just go for it.
We missed it last year. Well, I say I because, I was like dying to be in it. You didn't necessarily mention it at all. But because we were on the other side of the hill.
Yeah, I mean, it was a snafu. We were kind of later arriving to the fairgrounds than we had planned. We were farther, our Airbnb was farther from the fairgrounds than we had realized.
And we stopped and we ate breakfast. I mean, we felt like, okay, we're not there.
You cannot shop for yarn hungry.
I know. And
that's the worst.
When I travel, I don't particularly like to have to be somewhere at a certain time. I like to just go with the flow. And so that's why you were a good travel buddy, because we were just kind of like, we'll get there before they close.
I mean, we didn't miss out on any yarn.
No, we didn't. But the next day, not the next day, but when we were in New York City, we were more on a time frame.
Oh yeah,
because we had to like fly back.
Yeah, we were trying to do our own yarn crawl in Brooklyn. Where so last year it was just Danielle and I. We went from Rhinebeck to Brooklyn, got an Airbnb for the night, and so that was like Sunday night, and then Monday we didn't fly back to Detroit until the evening, and so we had the day. We went to some restaurant that you wanted to go to.
We went to the Rice to Riches.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh my
God. That was good. And then we went to
Nitty
City.
And Brooklyn General.
Yeah, and both were fantastic. String Thing Studio was closed on Mondays, unfortunately. Yeah. So we missed out on that, sadly. But we had a great day. Yeah, and it was just, good yarn shopping.
Yeah.
So
I still haven't used that yarn, but
I haven't either. I mean, so I kind of just did a little bit of a room spruce up, if you will, in here.
Yeah, which it looks different.
You can't see on camera, but opposite us, I painted an accent wall. Here I have a wall full of undyed yarn, and over here I have a wall full of my kind of like random stash. And I mean, I still have like at least 3 whips on, or like future, not whips, but stuff from Rhinebeck from last year that I had.
This looks like, did you get this at Brooklyn General? Okay, because it looks like a brand that they carry.
So actually you can grab that and the one next to it to the left. This was Life in the Long Grass, which
this feels good.
So I bought 6 skeins of this in kind of like an ombre situation. That I'm gonna knit the Rock Your Bodysuit by...
Oh, is that what you're gonna do?
Knit Diaries.
So you did decide to do that?
Yeah. So I'm actually, I've been making so many M1 Yarns samples just to kind of display my yarn. But I do have 2 projects in specific that I want to knit this winter, purely for myself. And one is the Life in the Long Grass in the Rock Your Bodysuit. And then the other is... Oh, well, I'll save that for another... That's a whole other conversation because it's a little bit wild. It's like a mashup. All those art yarns I was buying?
Oh, yeah. You said you were going to do, I don't know what you called it, but like a scrap... Well, it's not really scrap yarn, but...
Yeah, it's not a stash buster.
Yeah.
I do have a plan, but it's going to be a cardigan with a bunch of, like, different things. So it's very textural. If you're familiar with, is it Two of Wands has a crocheted cardigan that's very, I don't know, I'll insert a photo. I'm not capturing it well. But I have a vision, and I'm going to run with it at some point this winter. So stay tuned.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah.
I want to make more cardigans. When I read the article about the lady who made the cardigans for Mr. Rogers, for Tom Hanks, that really inspired me to want to make more cardigans. And I don't love knitting back and forth. I love knitting in the round.
I do too.
But I would like to have more hand knit cardigans to be able to just throw on.
So it's fun. And welcome to part 2. We had a little, if it looks totally different, it's because it is.
Same people.
Same place.
Same topic.
Same podcast. Just different camera.
Yeah.
Let's not talk about that. Moving on.
So, we were talking about cardigans. I said I was going to knit more cardigans. I actually have another pattern that I think I'm going to use. I think I'm going to use the yarn I got from Knit City, and I don't have the name of it.
You'll let me know.
But I'll let you know. I think I'm going to use that. I saw this cute cardigan that I want to make, and it's going to be like super classic, like one of those things that
like
I can wear.
Like a cozy classic or not?
Yeah, like a cozy classic, but it's not, well, yeah, I guess it could be cozy. It's DK, but
okay.
I'm going to cast that on at some point, and it has buttons, and I think I'm going to do pearl buttons. So, yeah.
All right, cool. It's funny you should talk about cardigans because someone the other day posted something. I can't remember who it was. Just in general about knit cardigans, and I was like, number one, I don't have any knit cardigans in my wardrobe. And then like store-bought cardigan wise, I only have, I think, 2 like real cardigans. A couple others are almost like evening bolero kind of things, like very sheer, whatever. But not really sweaters. Oh, you know what? I take that back. I did make that little cardigan thing. That's kind of like a bolero for my wedding.
Oh, yeah. It is like a bolero. It's not.
Yeah. Cardigan. Anyway, so.
It's cute.
That being said, I mean, I prefer to knit in the round. Like, huge.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, the German short rows on this pullover, I'm like, I know I need to work on my tension more because it'll block out. It'll be fine. But I have to work really hard on like when I knit flat versus when I knit in the round because my tension is off. Like I purl tighter. I purl too tight. Anyway. Okay. So.
Didn't you have an issue with purling too loose at one point? Or maybe that was someone else.
I mean, in general, I'm a loose knitter.
Okay.
So.
But when you purl, it's tight. I just knit tight.
Yeah.
I've tried and tried and tried. I mean, I don't know what to do to make it not tight, but I crochet tight.
You know, when I used to teach knitting, I had my students, number one, have a glass of wine, which I'm a big proponent of.
You have your students have a glass of wine?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
And if you need it in a sippy cup.
Because I'm kind of like, if you don't know how to knit, you probably don't need to be sipping and knitting at the same time.
But, you know, some people are, like, too anxious. They're so worried. It's like a first date. There's a reason why there's cocktails on a first date, right? Like, no judgment if you don't drink. But for me, like, if I was on a first date, I'm a newlywed, but if there was, I would need a cocktail. You gotta loosen up. You gotta, like...
I don't know. I'm pretty... I mean, I was about to say I'm pretty loose, but I'm not that loose, okay?
And there's the blooper reel.
But no, but I don't need a drink to loosen up.
To be cool.
Yeah, I can't focus on knitting, like, if I've been drinking.
See, like, I mean, I think, like, for some people, like, one drink or maybe half a drink or whatever just kind of takes the edge off of like that part of your brain that's just so anxious about, oh my God, am I doing this right? Where you're just kind of kicking back and enjoying the process.
Okay.
So that was one thing. And you kind of have to like read people. Okay, would a little bit of a drink help you? And the other thing is, like, I know me, I carry my tension in my shoulders, and in my hands. So if I see a student like gripping their needles, you know, like the whole thing is like such a...
Like me?
Yeah. I mean, it's going to come through your hands into your stitches. And so one thing I used to teach students was like, imagine that when you are holding your knitting needles, you have tennis balls in your hand, in your palm. And so your hand is like resting over them. And I learned this because I used to play the piano, and we were taught that our hands would have to be up instead of like gripping, the keyboard like that.
Wow.
And so if you imagine, there's a whole book, I can't remember what it's called, but there's a whole book of exercises for knitters, and it's supposed to, because I know that, number one, for the most part, we're sitting down a lot. We're getting like back and neck pain. We're looking down at our work. Our hips are in a weird position because we're sitting so long. I know there's like various stretches you can do, but one thing you can do is make sure that you're not transferring tension from your hands and wrists into your project. So I think being cognizant of how you knit is really important.
So I worked with someone at my last job before my current job who said she had a knitting injury. And I'm like, what is that? And she said that when she knit, she was like really leaning over and she had some like shoulder issues. And since she said that, I'm always cognizant of how I'm sitting because I don't want to have a knitting injury. She has not knit for a very long time because of this knitting injury. And I'm like, I don't want that to happen. So I'm always making sure that I'm like sitting up and I'm paying attention to what I'm doing with my elbows and that I'm not like putting more weight on one side.
Yeah.
Because I just don't want to live in a world where I can't knit or crochet.
Like, I don't know if your family is like this, but I know I sit on the same side of the couch every night. I have like my end table has my knitting and my whatever.
Yes, I think yes. I like
and
that.
So
like I have my spot.
Yeah, I sit where like, and when we bought this couch, I specifically said I have to be on the right side because I need to rest my elbow for how I knit. Well, really, when I do that like this, I'm transferring like tension into here. And so now lately I'll like turn and sit sideways on the couch.
Okay.
And like then I'm facing the TV like this. It's a whole mess. But
we don't have a couch yet, so
I think that
we will have a couch soon, and I guess I'll figure out my spot. We have a chase that's connected to the couch, so that might be my spot.
So it's funny we're talking about furniture because I'm convinced someone needs to invent like the perfect knitting and crocheting chair. It will somehow like relax your back and your neck and your hips and put your arms in a position where you can stitch.
Okay.
And if you invent this and you make millions, I'm gonna take my cut.
You better pay her. We said it here when we put this video out.
Right, you saw it here first.
Yeah. And
actually, if I invent it, it'll be the M1 Yarns chair or something. No,
can I have it for free? I can't afford to buy anything.
Yeah,
else.
I'll have you test out the model.
Okay, perfect.
Leave like reviews like on Amazon,
But verified purchase.
But did I not just text you the other day about you were complaining that you didn't have a couch? And I said...
No, I wasn't complaining. I just because I don't want to complain that I don't have a couch, because there are people that like really don't have furniture, and I don't want to seem like I'm being ungrateful. we have a couch, is not delivered yet, because if you've purchased any furniture or appliances during this time, you know there are major delays.
My friend just drove to Cleveland to pick up something from IKEA because it finally came in there.
Oh yeah, we'll talk about IKEA later, but
yeah.
I was saying I wish we had a couch, because I can knit downstairs.
Oh, yeah.
While Reggie goes upstairs to go to sleep, or vice versa. He can be downstairs watching TV and I can knit upstairs. That's why I couldn't get through this, because it was lights out. Like when you don't have furniture in the rest of the rooms, then you know lights out is lights out.
Wait, so you need the
I got the light.
You got the light? You know what I'm talking about?
It's packed up.
It's on your neck, and it's like 2 little lights.
I love
like this. I like it. I don't use it often.
I don't either. Well, it's packed up now, but I have used it, and it's great.
On Amazon.
You have to keep it charged.
Oh, then mine is definitely dead. I haven't used it in over a year.
Yeah, just charge it. You'll love it.
But that being said, what did I text you? I said, oh, you need this beanbag chair.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And it came up like randomly on, I don't really use Facebook, but I happened to be on Facebook the other day, and it was like an ad, and I swear it must have heard me talking about something. It looked so squishy, and I told my husband I really wanted one.
Is that like that Love Sack thing? Is it made by the same company?
I don't know.
Okay, because they have a store in 12 Oaks.
Oh. Don't tell me that. I'll end up going. You.
Yeah, anyway. They have a store. I mean, they used to. I don't know if they still do, but they had a store where you could like go and test those things out.
Oh,
it's called Love Sack.
Or I could just order from Amazon and try it out.
How much was it on Amazon?
It was like, hold on. Oh, we're recording on my phone.
Well, I'll look later. Mind. I'll look later. It's probably a Love Sack knockoff.
But if it arrives and I'm not trying to get divorced.
Where would you put it?
That's a great question.
So, if it doesn't match the rest of our house, I can tell you I wouldn't be able to put it in our house. I would have to be able to put it in the basement.
But it comes in like different colors.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm not buying anything.
All right. So anyway, like you need a good knitting spot.
Yeah.
Or crocheting. You know, you need like your craft corner.
Yes. I think that's really important.
The other thing I do, like depending on how I'm sitting, is putting an pillow under my elbow.
Oh, really?
That helps.
I haven't thought about that. Maybe I'll try that if I find myself feeling away because of all of the knitting I'm going to get done before Rhinebeck, and have this done by the 10th of October.
Yeah.
I'm going to cast on my Felix pullover probably Saturday. Saturday is my deadline for casting that on. I think I should be in a good spot with this where I can just cruise. And then I can cast on my Felix pullover. We do have a kitchen project that we're going to do, so hopefully we can get that done, and then I won't feel guilty about like sitting back and knitting because I have the other stuff that I want to get done.
So let's see, October 10th is a month away. My goal is to finish this sweater within the next like week to 10 days.
Wow. With the sleeves?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you tried it on?
Yes.
Okay. How does it fit?
Fantastic. And let me tell you, I love mohair.
You do.
Like, I love mohair, and I have missed mohair all summer. And honest to God, can we just have a moment with this mohair? This feels so good. Honestly, I don't know if you can fully appreciate the halo. It is, I'm a happy camper.
I don't particularly love knitting with black. That's not a black, it's more of a smoke, and I love that color.
Yeah, and we talked about this. So when we talked about the make-along, you chose the pattern. But I said, Oh, I need, like, I'm not big into crew neck sweaters, but I need, like, a basic black crew neck that just goes with, like, everything that I will have for years to come. And I think I look better in browns with my hair and whatnot. I do too. But, I mean, like, black is so versatile. So I'm very pleased, and I think that I will get a lot of wear out of this.
I did my Wave of Change cardigan.
Oh yeah, that was
like
so
that
cute.
Smoked color. That's the only thing that I have that's black, and I ordered a shirt to put under it. I can't wait to wear it. I was planning on wearing it when I finished it, but then we were in the house, so I never had a chance to wear it.
Oh.
So maybe I'll wear that next time we podcast.
Yeah.
And it's getting cold here in Michigan, so.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of, so it's funny because I think people thought I was crazy when I started selling hat kits. In August.
Selling them already, yeah.
But, so I'm from Colorado. And the other day it was 95, and then yesterday it was 30 and snow.
Wow.
Like, my mom sent me a photo of her patio, and there was like 6 inches of snow.
Wow, do people get sick there a lot because of the weather change?
I mean, no more than here, really.
Okay.
And it's like a dry air. Okay. So, like, already the snow's melting, blah, blah, blah. So this is the Fast and Fuzzy hat kit. I designed the pattern.
Is that the name of it?
Yeah.
Fast and Fuzzy? Okay.
The yarn is Fast and Fibrous.
Oh, wow.
It's my new bulky yarn. And the kit comes with the pattern and the removable.
Oh, that's removable?
Yeah.
I didn't know. So this is the color that I'm making. I love olive. And so this is the color that I'm making. But I'm actually making it without the furry ball.
Okay.
I don't love furry balls. I'm sorry. I just never got into them.
To each his own.
But Jamie dyed this up for me, and I'm going to make the Fast and Furry hat. I'm hoping it's fast because, you know, I knit slow.
Honestly, it was like 4 hours or less.
You like over time, but like you sat down for 4 hours and knit it?
Like cumulative knitting.
Oh, okay, because I'm like, girl, you know I don't have 4 hours to be sitting down knitting a hat.
Or if you do, you'll just be done like on a Saturday night.
Yeah, you can wear it on Sunday.
So
I can't wait to make this. So you said you're gonna send me the pattern. Am I a tester?
Nope.
Okay, thank God.
So the kit has been on my website, m1yarns.com, for a few weeks. This is my Tunisian desert colorway.
Can I try that one on?
Yeah.
Okay.
Danielle had previously held up green olives.
Oh my God! Look at this.
That's cute. Girl, you need the palm.
I'm not doing this palm, but girl.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Look at this.
Look at this.
How about white?
I mean, this feels so good. No palm.
Black.
No black, no white.
That's cute.
I'm trying to integrate my hat with black and white palms.
Black palms matter.
All palms matter.
But really because
this feels so good. Is this the smallest size? Like, is it a size? What is it?
So it comes in like a kid. Can you hear my dog whining? It comes in a kid, a small adult, and a large adult.
What size is this?
Small.
Small? Okay. Because sometimes I have to make large adult hats because of my hair. But with this bulky, I can do. Oh, man. I cannot wait to do this. Now, as soon as you send me.
It's cute.
It's so cute and it feels good.
So actually, some of the kits have been on the website already. What I showed you.
Okay.
But the black pom-pom, I'm adding like tomorrow. So when you're seeing this, it'll be up. And I dyed some new colorways for it to go with. So I have some friends who love yellow. So I did kind of like a Black and yellow, black and yellow.
You know what it is.
Yep. And then I have some other friends that have been asking for orange. So I kind of thought the black with the orange was kind of fun. Let's see. This is the charcoal.
Oh, that is nice.
This is on the website already.
Mm-hmm.
But this like orangey red, I mean, it's like a flame color.
That's that is nice. I like that color. Oh, I really like that color.
Yeah. And then like some of the kits include a white pom-pom that have black tips. I don't think you're really getting, you're kind of getting that. Yeah, there you go. So like that together, I think is really fun. So anyway, that was something else I knit since our last episode was the hat. And
did you do increases at the top, or did you
decrease it?
Decreases at the top, or did you just kind of close it up?
Oh, there's decreases.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I guess I would have to do magic loop. 'Cause I don't have any.
Oh, you don't have DPNs?
Well, not that big. What size is that? 13?
I want to say.
I might have some Denise Flexi DPNs that are 13. I might.
You could do magic loop.
Or I can do magic loop. Okay.
You have options.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, like, you only do DPNs or whatever for, like, the last, handful of rounds or whatever.
Okay.
So, was it today or yesterday? It was, like, literally 50 degrees here in Detroit.
Oh, my God. It was so cold and gloomy and raining. And honestly, we were supposed to record yesterday, and I was just, like, not in the mood.
So, honestly, I almost wore this yesterday to walk the dogs.
Wow.
And I was, like, it was raining, and I didn't want it to be, like, still damp to record, in case it was, like, laying weird. So, but this was, honestly, this was a good palette cleanser.
Okay.
I was in between projects and whipped it up, and I love it.
So, I'm going to start that after I cast on my Felix pullover.
Okay.
And maybe that can be, like, something quick that I'm knitting during Rhinebeck. Because, like, last year we thought about what we were wearing, but we were also intentional about what we were taking to actually knit on.
Yeah.
Something really seamless and easy. But we didn't knit any of that. Everything that we knit was something that we were wearing, like, within 5 minutes. So I'm really interested in seeing how the virtual Rhinebeck setup is. And so if we're having a knit along, a virtual knit along, I can have that to, like, knit on.
Yeah.
And pay attention to whatever on Zoom.
I think we should do, like, I have, like, fluff in my nose, so don't.
I know, I have a little fluff in my nose, too, from that fluffy thing.
I think we should do, like, a Zoom. I don't know. Maybe we should do, like, a YouTube live.
Oh, yeah.
On Rhinebeck weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah, so stay tuned for that. We'll figure it out.
That would be nice. And we can wear a Rhinebeck sweater. Let's kind of see what other people are doing, so times won't necessarily overlap, so we can support other people and they can support us, and kind of see what else is going on. But yeah, that would be super exciting. So let's talk about, since we're talking about Rhinebeck, let's talk about some of the giveaways.
Oh,
for
yes.
the make along.
Okay, so I posted this the other day. I have no idea. Oh. So, I want to say one of our best giveaways for the make along. So basically, if you're participating in the make along, knitting the cozy classic raglan or crocheting the confetti DK pullover, please post your progress and finished object photos using the hashtag M1YarnMAL20. That way we can find your posts, which will enter you in the contest. So these earrings by, I'm going to hold them like, there we go, so they're not moving.
Oh, they're so cute.
Designs by Yasmin.
Yasmin is so sweet.
So sweet.
She recently had a birthday.
Yes. Happy birthday, Yasmin. So this is in the colorway Podcast Party, which is...
What is up with my yarn?
This yarn.
Getting all messy.
And this colorway was named after the colors of the sweaters that we wore in our first episode back in March. So I sent this yarn to Yasmin, and she made these beautiful earrings, which you can win. So, this is a prize. This is a prize.
Wow. Can I enter to win?
No.
Oh. I'm not doing a hashtag then.
Oh, fine, bye. And this is a prize. This is a one of a kind. I wanted to just dye something really fun. And, so there you go.
Nice.
Yeah.
So those are 3 of the prizes you can win. So make sure you use the hashtag M1Yarn MAL, make along 20 for the year 20. And we can find your post. When are we announcing winners for the prizes?
Let's see. I think we should run the make along through Rhinebeck weekend, which I think is like October 16th, 17th, and 18th.
I have to look.
I'll insert it right here.
Okay.
But I think maybe that weekend, and then like the first time we podcast after that, we could pull winners.
Okay.
So that way people have like plenty of time.
Yep.
That gives you, and you don't have to finish your sweater. Like no judgment.
This is not a who can finish fast, who can knit the fastest contest. Although I think Jamie, she's in a contest with me all the time.
I'm in a contest with myself.
Every time we're making something, she's like sending me pictures. I'm almost at this. I'm like, I haven't even cast it on. When we were making a ranunculus, I stayed up all night with this yarn, winding it. I wasn't winding. I was combining the fingering and the mohair so I can have just one ball of yarn. And then, you're just like flying along on the plane, not even talking to me, just knitting. And then by the time we get to Detroit, she's almost finished with her sweater. So
that's because you're the ambivert and I'm the introvert. So you can talk.
Yeah.
And I can listen and I can knit.
Yes. And so she's always like knitting faster than me. But it is not a contest on who can knit the fastest or anything like that. If you finish, you finish. If you don't, you don't. Life happens. We would love for life to be all about knitting, but we have families. We have work. We have
COVID.
All of these things going on.
We don't have COVID.
Moving. All of these things. And so if you don't, I heard the noise, but that was that thing falling. If you don't finish, it is okay. Trust me.
It's okay.
I'm praying that I finish.
Yeah, just like cast on.
Yeah. And have some fun with us.
Yeah. I think more than anything, we just wanted like a sense of community of, we purposely chose the patterns because they are seamless, beginner friendly. I would say more advanced beginner friendly, but heck, if you need like a challenge and, go for it. Just something that you will find joy in, because I think so much right now is really heavy. It's I know for me, like the days that I don't get to knit, I don't feel quite balanced. I just need at least 10 minutes to just kind of.
Yeah, that's what I've kind of promised to myself with everything going on with my move. With our move, like the other day, I spent a lot of time lining kitchen cabinets.
You spent a lot of time.
The whole day. And
the whole day.
And even like some of the next day. And I'm like, either this takes a really long time or I'm just really anal about this fitting properly. And I think it was a little bit of both because we have a lot of cabinets. But the next day after that, I spent time unpacking some of the things for the kitchen. I haven't unpacked the things for the counter yet, but I packed a lot of the things for the kitchen. And I said, I'm just going to sit down and knit. Even if it's just for 10 minutes, I'm going to take some time. I've done a lot of work around the house. And Reggie's been doing a lot of work around the house as well. And I'm like, we can take a day off.
Yeah.
We can like do something else that we like. So he binged Cobra Kai last night. I fell asleep on it, but because I took some medicine, my head was hurting, so I fell asleep on it. But I'm like, we just can't. We don't have to do everything right now as much as we want to.
I'm knitting the the stitches for the underarms that you cast on back. And they're kind of tight, and
oh yeah, they're always tight.
It was giving me grief for a second. So
oh yeah. Sorry. And I try not to do those tight, but they always end up tight.
Yeah. All right, what were we talking about?
So you're knitting the underarm.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think I did one too many increases. I don't know what happened.
I hate
but
when that happens.
I have too many body stitches, so I am going to just kind of like fudge it.
Okay.
Under the armpits and bring it in to where it should be. No one will even know except you guys. I let you in on the secret.
That happened to my ranunculus somehow. I ended up with more stitches, and so I somehow fixed it. I don't know what happened.
I think like a lot of boo-boos in knitting and crochet, I mean, they can be fixed, Some stuff you have to rip back, and some stuff you can just kind of say, like, oh, how can I, like, Band-Aid it?
Well, okay, with crochet, here's what I'll say.
Okay.
I made a big blanket for a really good friend of mine years ago, pre-Raven. So this had to be about 6 years ago, and it was a big granny square.
Okay.
And you don't know much about granny squares in terms of like the pattern.
Yeah.
But it's like intervals of 3.
Okay.
And I made a mistake and did 2 stitches. And that, I still think about it. But it was too far in to rip all the way back and fix it. And so she doesn't know, but I know. And it haunts me.
Yeah.
So some of the things in crochet aren't like easily fixed.
Yeah.
I haven't made a granny square blanket since. I
will say this, especially to those who are less, more like beginner makers. And I've been knitting for probably 18 years. I would consider myself like an advanced beginner. I can pretty much do any pattern. I wouldn't necessarily like choose to, because to me knitting is very much like a stress reliever, whereas I'm not in a phase of life right now where I need the challenge in my knitting, because life is so like low-key. That's not me. But there are definitely things I enjoy and definitely things I don't enjoy. Brioche, not really my thing.
Somebody posted about brioche the other day, because I said that I wasn't going to try that, but someone said it's just knitting and purling or something. It sounds really simple.
That's all there is knitting and furling.
But it's just like in a particular pattern. And I'm like, wow, that sounds really simple. Why do people complain so much about this?
I tried a project. I think I could have done it had I been more in like the frame of mind. I don't know.
Maybe I'll try one day.
I think beginners should be encouraged that nothing is unconquerable.
Oh yeah, nothing. Like making a sweater. If you can knit it around, you can make a sweater.
Yeah. The best thing I heard was, and it was like within the last year, a sweater is just as many stitches as a sock, just on a smaller gauge needle. So
that makes sense.
Because
this is 88. A sock is 64.
Like 60, yeah.
Yeah. Socks. Some people are afraid of socks. I was afraid of socks.
I was too.
Have you made any more socks?
I have not made any more socks.
Okay.
But I intend to.
Me too. I was supposed to have a whole 9 to 12 pair this year, but COVID happened and it just threw me off.
2020. The fish lips fish.
Is it fish kiss
Fish.
lips or lips kiss?
Fish lips kiss heel. I can't say it fast ever. That I've tried different heels, and to me, everything else on a sock, is fine.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoy it, not a problem. The heel is the problem.
Uh-huh.
And I've tried 5 different heel methods, and that one, you have to find what works for your brain.
Did you like that one?
I loved it.
Oh, because I love the German short row heel.
You would.
I did that. I love German short row. I'm a German short row spokesperson, but
yeah,
that's my favorite. I mean, I like the afterthought heel, but I really love the look of the German short row heel.
Mm-hmm.
I love the feel of it. My sock fit better. So
really,
my one pair of socks with the German short row heel fits better than my afterthought heel socks, but I realized what I was doing wrong. I think I was knitting my foot too long, and so they don't fit as nice. But I mean, I guess no one will ever see how they fit on my heel, so it doesn't matter. But for the most part, I think I'm going to, if I'm not doing self-striping yarn, I think I'm going to go with German short row. And even if I am doing self-striping yarn in a contrasting color heel, I could still do German short row. So yeah. All right. I can't wait to cast on some new socks, which I think I'm going to do next month. And I got to do Reggie's heels.
Cool.
Yep.
So do we have anything else? We've talked about the make-along. We've talked about what we're wearing, what we're making.
I think that's it. Next time we'll talk about what's in our project bags. I got some pretty interesting non-knitting things in mine.
Oh, I might have to fill mine. Some little goodies. All right. Yeah, I think we've kind of covered it.
Yeah. So thanks for joining us. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Tell your friends and your family about this really cool new podcast.
Yeah, we're on episode 4.
Yeah.